Maybe it's because viruses are making a large comeback, or maybe it's because in the book, like I didn't really go in depth in either book on viruses, and the reason being is because I had so much information, it warranted a third book, which I'll be releasing in December, right? So KT and I got together. KT did a class, then KT and I got together for a 7-hour class, right? But you know, a lot of times I had to just give the information to the people because it seems like we're in a crisis. So we're gonna start with first things first. Viruses are largely misunderstood, right? That's the first thing. We're never going to get past the problem of viral infections if we don't understand what a virus is and how it works, right? There's a lot of information out there. Like one of the brothers in my class, he just brought me a couple of things he got on this website about viruses being a hoax. That's far from the truth, all right? When you say things like that, you give the idea to people that you just gotta be careful of how you communicate. And I learned that from years of speaking publicly, that you have to speak very direct and sharp, right? Because if you say viruses are a hoax, immediately you're saying that people that are sick from viruses, or quote unquote sick from viruses, are imagining it, or they're being hustled, or like there's nothing really wrong with them. Like it can just be taken a lot of different ways. So what I would like to do is clear up first and foremost a lot of the scientific confusion surrounding viruses and what they are. All right, and then also where they come from. So the first thing you got to understand is that a virus is not something that comes from outside of life into life to change life, right? Viruses are very equal to what you would consider computer software, right? That's number one. But these programs are produced inside living organisms. Okay, so that's the first thing you want to understand. Viruses are either a strand of DNA. Let me rephrase that. Viruses are either a strand of foreign DNA or a strand of foreign RNA. Strand of foreign DNA or foreign RNA to your body. Grand opening, grand closing. So, what does that mean? That means, ladies, if you're, and I'm using this because this is a very interpersonal analogy, so you get it, right? If you're having sex with your mate and he ejaculates into you, your body sees his sperm as viruses. Your body immediately goes into the same frenzy goes on in your womb as somewhere else. You have inflammation and white blood cells going crazy, and the same thing happens, right? It's just the sheer numbers from a healthy male will overwhelm the body's defenses and reach the target and create replication. That is exactly what's happening on a very microscopic level with other viruses. Now, they name viruses in many cases letting you know where the viruses are from. So if you have swine flu, then obviously those viruses come from pigs. If you have bird flu, obviously those strands of RNA or DNA are coming from some type of bird. And then you have more rare forms of flu, viruses, etc. But in many cases, they tell you where the virus is coming from. All right, so viruses are produced by life. All right, they're produced by cells, and when those strands of DNA or RNA become airborne, or they're in water or in toilet or wherever they are, they're sitting programs waiting to be be taken, so to speak, almost like cholesterol has to be carried by fats. Viruses have various mediums to travel, but they can't get up and walk like we do, so they're waiting for a cell or bacteria, because in many cases, like I've been saying for years, bacteria are similar to human cells, especially stem cells or red blood cells, right? Because it really comes down to whether there's a well-defined nucleus. If there's not, then it's considered a bacteria in many cases. And so a lot of viruses can attack a bacteria in the same way they can attack a cell and replicate there, or just use that quote-unquote body for transport, sustenance, or to just awaken itself and become active. So that's one thing, right? They got points, right? So we're going through points. This is the red book. So you see the red book come out, you know shit is real. Under the right internal conditions, right? Life, when I say life, because I'm using a general term because it's just that fast, right? Life produces viral strands, DNA, RNA. What do you think happens? What do you think happens when a person passes? Right? What do you think happens to all the DNA and RNA in that person's body? Right? They go back into the environment. But then also on the flip side, so on one hand, under the right conditions, you have RNA and DNA that's able to, be shed from the body, etc., etc. But then on the flip side, you have under the right conditions, and we're going to talk about those conditions. Foreign DNA, foreign RNA are able to come into the body, assess your magnetic field, because this is how they work. But it'll take some prying, and for many people it's not that deep, because most people that's gonna watch this video, and that's the thing about it, it's funny because people steal my material, right, and repackage it, right, because I teach mostly for teachers, right, students of health, but then somebody else will steal and repackage what I teach for the masses, for John Q. Public. So John Q. Public, in most cases, he just wants a solution. He has something wrong, whether he's got a respiratory virus, whether he has a sexual virus, a STD, whether he has a virus that's transmitted by touch, an enterovirus, right, like a stomach virus. It's all surface chemistry at the end of the day. But people just want solutions. I give the long-term solution, so you know how to take care of yourself and your family. But so under the right conditions, these viruses, then foreign DNA and RNA can find a home in you. So when you hear the categories of viruses, that's telling you the type of surface chemistry and how they enter a host, right? A body, so to speak, right? Because even the cell becomes a host. Before you can get to the cell, you got to get to the body. gotta get through the body. So when you have respiratory, right, viruses, they usually come through the nose, right? And then that creates ear, throat, mouth in many cases. Although we put a lot of stuff in our mouth, pause that, whatever. So you have respiratory, then you have, like I said, you have entero, which are stomach viruses. You have STDs, which is sexually transmitted. You have diseases transmitted by touch. Those are the most popular. Breathing, what you eat or drink, and how you have sex. Those are the most popular entrances to the body. Because each virus is created within a specific set of conditions, right? It's almost like as if you freeze frame whatever particular biochemistry is going on in the cell that DNA or RNA came from. You freeze frame that, right? That cell, that RNA or that DNA is getting ready to be shed from and then become, viral through, right? Because the same way viruses enter is in many cases how they get out, right? We breathe out a lot of genetic material on a regular basis, urinate, defecate, sex, right? So in many cases, the same way as a virus is able to enter the body is the way it's able to exit the body. And viruses are almost a crystallized moment in biochemistry for that cell. That crystallized moment is going to be comprised of many physical attributes, but also an electromagnetic signature, a specific frequency. That is going to be what that virus, that DNA or RNA seeks to find. When it finds that in another body, in another cell or bacteria somewhere, that virus will be able to integrate itself into that bacteria or that cell's matrix, download its information or upload its information into that cell, and then begin to take over the cell's physical genetic material to replicate itself. All right? All these are little things so that you understand how to attack and break these things down. You got to understand what they are, how they function in order to be successful in the art of war, right? Because that's what this is. This is really Sun Tzu at its finest. This is the art of war right here. So that's what we gotta. So we want to make sure we keep our body vibrating at the highest frequency possible, right? So if you're going vegan, plant-based diet, if you're adding a lot of greens, if you're taking your minerals, etc., taking your herbs, all of these things are to increase the bioelectricity in the body, which increases the body's biomagnetism, which plays a large role in your body's defenses. Now, viruses are not bacteria and cannot be killed in the traditional sense of killing, right? Like how you would kill a person, you know what I'm saying? Or you kill a bacteria, or you kill an animal. Like that doesn't exactly function. It doesn't exactly happen like that with a virus. Because a virus is a string of amino acids, it really must be disassembled, right? Viruses have to be disassembled and broken down, right? So you got to remember that.